I made a post on Instagram about this quite a long time ago, but I feel like this maybe deserves its own discussion, maybe something longer than my little post. Looking at the data and the statistics, less than 1% of gym goers, regular gym goers, have a body fat percentage less than 10%. That's males, by the way. I don't know what the number is for females because they didn't report that, so I can't tell you. I can't tell you a number that they didn't report. So, uh, conversely, 3% of men are millionaires. In fact, 22% of men will become millionaires during their lifetime. That's an interesting thing. So, less than 1% of regular gym goers have a body fat percentage below 10%. That would obviously tell you that less than 1% of men have a body fat percentage less than 10%. So, less than 1% of men have chiseled six-pack abs. And yet, 3% of men are millionaires, and 22% of men will become millionaires at some point in their lifetime. Therefore, we could make the conclusion, or speculate, at least, that it's easier to become a millionaire than it is to get six-pack abs. That's an interesting thing. Now, why would I even bring this up? Well, it's because I listen to Tom Bilyeu. I don't know if you guys listen to any of his stuff. I think he has a really great guest on. But something I've heard him say multiple times is, he's talking to various people, whether he's talking to, I think he talked to Stan Efferding, and then he talked to somebody else who was another person that was really into fitness, but also very successful financially. I'm trying to remember who it was, and I can't remember who it was, and it doesn't matter who it was, because it's Tom that makes this comment. He always says that, well, if you can, have the discipline required to get six-pack abs, then, you have the work ethic and the discipline to become a millionaire. Gosh, if it was only was that easy. What's the secret to becoming a millionaire? What's the secret to being successful? Well, if we listen to Robert Sapolsky and Sam Harris, the secret to success is literally chance. That's it, chance. There are so many factors in life that you have no control over that the odds of you being successful or not comes down to chance. So that whole thing of you don't have any free will, the reason why you don't have any free will is because there's so many other things that are left to random chance. So you don't have control over that. But then if we pull back the data and we look at the statistics and stuff like that, what's the best predictor of success? The zip code that you were born in, which, if you really think about that, actually just means that you were born to wealthy parents. Because if you come from a really good zip code, you probably had parents that had a lot of money. Because if you come from a shitty zip code, you had poor parents. Surprised? Not really. I mean, look at any of these people that are extremely successful. I don't care if you're looking at Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Bill Gates. It's not like they were born to poor families. Mommy and daddy created IBM and created a company for you and then handed it off, or daddy helped you start Amazon and gave you a $300,000 gift or something like that. Dude, my parents didn't have $300,000 in their whole fucking lifetime. Yeah, so zip code is the best predictor of success. You basically were born to wealthy parents, and therefore you have all the advantages in life. You probably went to a private school, you probably went to a really good college, all that stuff like that. And of course, there's this whole factor that comes in there. I think Alex Hormozy actually admitted this about the fact that his dad was really wealthy, that he learned all these wealth skills or habits from his dad. And that's something that you learn growing up. We learn from our parents, we learn our parents' habits. And so, Alex Hormozy was talking about how, he learned these habits from his dad, the whole idea of investing money. Well, my parents never had money to invest, so, it never has occurred to me in my entire life that I should take this little bit of money that I have and invest it. That would never occur to me. It's no, I take all the money I have and buy groceries. And it's still not enough. People can give you advice well, you should take your money and invest it. And it's I don't have any fucking money to buy food. What am I going to invest? You can only invest if you have extra money sitting around. I've never been on a vacation. So it's not like I'm wasting money on going on vacation. So where would I get the money to invest from, right? And I'm sure that I'm preaching to the choir. There's probably most of you out there are in the same situation where you don't just have extra money sitting around just I just don't invest this. I'm going to buy up some rental properties. Who has that? Most people don't have that, So Yes, the odds of you being a millionaire are 3% at any given time, and at some point in your life, you'll probably become a millionaire. 22% will probably become a millionaire at some point. And in fact, actually, if we know anything about these statistics, a lot of people become a millionaire and then they actually lose it. So just because you are in the 22% that becomes a millionaire at some point doesn't mean you will stay a millionaire. I guess that 3% number is representative of the fact that a small number of people become millionaires and then stay millionaires, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, look at pro athletes. These guys make millions of dollars for a couple years and then, well, they blow it all. Because that's what most of us would do. I would. I'd go buy myself a Ferrari and, I don't know, probably do some really fun stuff for a while, travel around, and then when my athletic career ends, I'll have nothing to show for it. Just like now. Just like every other failed athlete. It comes full circle, right? So for all of us failed athletes, we have nothing to show for it. But hey, if you went pro, you got to play pro for a few years, blow all the money, and then you're right back to with all the guys who didn't make it. You have nothing to show for it, except for a bunch of injuries and scar tissue. My body's largely held together by scar tissue, and maybe some hardware from like Home Depot or something like that that the surgeons decided to put in there, right? You think I'm joking, and if you guys like see this shit, if you may know what I'm talking about, they literally put like fucking screws and stuff like that inside your body. It looks like they could get this from a hardware store. So, you ever see a bone saw? Yeah, it looks like you could buy it at like Home Depot. So, anyways, the point being, all right, you are more likely to be a millionaire than you are to have six-pack abs. And this idea that having the discipline and the work ethic to get six-pack abs, well, then you should be able to translate that into becoming a millionaire. And I'm going to go ahead and disagree with Tom on this, because the thing is that it's really easy to get six-pack abs and stuff like that if you have discipline and work ethic, right? So all you do is you basically gradually decrease the amount of food that you're eating over time, and you train really fucking hard, and you do that consistently, right? Well, you know what to do. You see, the problem with dieting isn't that people don't know what to do. I don't care if you're 300 pounds and you're just trying to lose 100. You know what to do. The problem is whether or not you can do it. Like, it's the behavioral change that becomes difficult. That's why I say, like, calorie counting it's a waste of time. It's bullshit. Until you address the behavioral change first, then only then does it matter. Because you can track and count all you want, but if you can't change your behavior, then you're just going to default back to, binging on junk food. It's like people follow a diet for 5 days and then go crazy on the weekend. It's the behavioral change that people struggle with. It's not like you go up to a person who's overweight and say, oh, all you gotta do is count calories. They're like, no fucking shit, I already know that. The problem is that they can't implement it because it's the behavioral change that they struggle with, right? Okay, well, becoming a millionaire? Dude, I don't have any fucking clue on how to become a millionaire. It's not a lack of work ethic or a lack of discipline. Like, if you tell me, oh, just make more and spend less, that's like telling someone to just move more and eat less. Yeah, I know. I need to make more and spend less. I don't know how to make more. Like, I don't know how to do that. Like, what? And people are like, oh yeah, it's really easy. It's just discipline and work ethic. Discipline and work ethic on what? Like, what should I be spending my time on? I can sit here and make videos. I can write blogs for you. I can write all kinds of shit. That doesn't mean it translates into anything. Look, for all the work I've done on doing videos and making posts and putting out information, everyone says, oh, hey, all you have to do is provide value and the money will come to you. I don't make a fucking dollar off this shit. I do this shit just because I want to help people. I have never made a dollar off of any of this shit. My channel isn't even monetized, so if you guys see ads, it's because YouTube's an asshole and they just put ads on my channel without paying me for it. But that's fine. I mean, whatever. I'm using a free platform, so they can go ahead and throw ads on it, but I'm not getting paid for it. I do this stuff because I just want to help people. That's why I do it. It's not like providing value and the money will come. If you build it, they will come. Yeah, if you provide value, the money will come. No, it doesn't. So, like, this whole idea that if you have the work ethic and the discipline if you have the work ethic and discipline to get abs, and you have the work ethic and discipline to become a millionaire. No, you don't. Because the problem is that you don't know what the fuck to do. I don't know what the fuck to do. Should I go back to school? Again? For the fourth time? Didn't work the first 3 times. So like, what do I do? Like, oh well, I did neuropsych and I did exercise phys and I did neurobiology. Oh, also I don't like to discuss this, but uh, when I was in my undergrad, I did law. Don't share that around too much. I'm really embarrassed about that. I yeah, I don't think very highly of lawyers, so I'm not really all that proud of the whole law degree thing. So don't talk about that one. I'll admit it to you here because it's another failed thing. But like, what should I do? Should I go back to school again? What am I gonna do this time? Like, go get a PhD in what? What? Tell me. Like economics? Like, is that gonna suddenly be the oh? Well, you went back to school again, but this time it'll work. Like, that's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing, expecting different results. Like, yeah, I'll just keep going back to school. Fuck that. That doesn't work. Should I start up another company? Well, like, how many have I had? I've had how many failed businesses now? I'll just start another one. Uh-huh. And run that one to the ground too, because I still don't know what I'm doing, because no one's ever taught me how to run a business. So it's like, you can make these comments like, well, if you have the work ethic and the discipline to do this, then you have the work ethic and discipline to do that. Sure, but you don't have the fucking knowledge. Like, that's the problem. The problem isn't whether or not you have the work ethic and discipline. Lots of people have the work ethic and discipline. If you're watching my channel, you probably have the work ethic and discipline. You probably work really hard. I bet you work your ass off. I have no idea what you do for a living, obviously, because I can't reach through the screen and have a discussion with each one of you, but shit, I don't care what you do for a living. Maybe you're a teacher, or you're, I don't know, you do yard work or roofing or something like that. I bet you work your ass off. I know guys that do HVAC. They work their fucking asses off. I know guys who are plumbers. They work like hell. They're not millionaires. It's not a lack of work ethic and discipline. Work ethic and discipline. Dude, I know fucking farmers. You think you have work ethic and discipline? Come on. I know truck drivers. You want to talk about work ethic and discipline? People putting in 80-hour weeks? Come on. Guys doing engineering and putting in 120 hours a week because they got a project to work on? That's not the secret to being a millionaire. Work ethic and discipline. Work ethic and discipline. You shove it up your ass. No, that doesn't. They act like, well, if you're not rich, it's because you don't work hard enough. Fuck that. Lots of people work hard enough. They don't have the knowledge or the connections or whatever it is. There's something other than work ethic and discipline. To act like all it takes is work ethic and discipline, that's actually an insult to people. That's like telling people, like, well, the reason I'm a millionaire and you're not is because I have more work ethic and discipline than you. Don't pay attention to the fact that my mommy and daddy set me up. It's like these pro athletes that are like, well, I just work harder than everyone else. You worked harder than everyone else to be 6'8"? Wow. If I would have known that, I would have tried harder when I was 13. Shit. I just work harder than everyone else. Sure you do. You work so hard that you have time to post it on social media. Let that sink in. You post on social media, I outwork everyone. Well, what about the guy who didn't have time to post that on social media? Do you think he's working harder than you? He didn't even have fucking time to post it. Come on. Anyways, I don't really have anything actionable to take away from this one, unfortunately. I always try to give you guys some great piece of advice that's actionable, right? But really, all I'm trying to preach to this one is just the fact that, like, don't listen to some of this shit, man. Like, this shit is crap. It's such a waste of time. I wasted so many hours listening to these various millionaires and billionaires talking about how to become a millionaire or a billionaire. And basically the takeaway that I have at the end of this whole thing is have rich parents. I don't care if you're Tim Ferriss or you're, whoever the fuck it is anymore. Your mom and dad took care of you. They tell these stories and they're like, oh yeah, things were real bad. So I moved back home with my parents and they took care of me for a while. And it's like, oh, that must be nice. Most people don't have that as a resource. Most people don't have a safety net. Most people don't have a fallback plan. When things went to shit, they had to go stock shelves at Whole Foods. Not that I would know anything about that. Most people, whenever things go to shit, they end up living out of their car. Not that I would know anything about that either. A lot of people just join the military because they don't have anywhere else to go and anything else to do. That happens too. Some people join the military because it's the only way they can pay for school. But I wouldn't know anything about that. I just I just work hard and have discipline, and that's the real secret, you know. So, all I'm offering in this video is my sympathy, my empathy, my compassion for you, and my 2 cents on the matter, telling you don't waste your time listening to these people. If you're not rich, it's not because you lack work ethic or that you lack discipline. That's not the problem. That's not the problem at all. I don't know what the solution is. If you know what the solution is, comment below. Yeah, if you know what the solution is, comment below. And if you have work ethic and discipline, but you're not a millionaire, be sure to like the video, because we're all in the same boat. So, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It helps the algorithm. Comment below even if you disagree with me. It helps the algorithm too. Apparently YouTube doesn't like me very much, so they don't share my videos, which is fine. It's really fine. The people who like me, they already know where to find me. I'm not trying to be everyone's cup of tea. I'd rather have 100 people watch me that actually watch the videos than to have 1 million subscribers and no one watches my videos. Let that sink in for a minute. It's like I always talk about. I hope this helps just one person. And I genuinely mean that. I don't care if 1,000 people watch it. If it helps one person, that's awesome. And if 10 people watch it and it helps one person, even better. Because that means I got 10%. So, I care more about that one person than I care about how many views I get. Or likes. Or subscribers. And this channel is a short-term project. I don't plan on keeping this up for a long time. I have a list of topics that I plan on getting through at some point, and once I'm done with them, I won't be posting any more to this channel, but it'll be sitting there for, I don't know, somebody to find someday, and maybe it'll help them. So, maybe it'll help you. I don't know. It's one of those things, something about like the teacher presents themselves when the student's ready, right? So, maybe someone will come across this at some point, and they'll probably, I'm so tired of reading these stupid books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Yes, me too, because I wasted a lot of time reading those books, and they were useless. So, anyways, there you guys have it. That's my thoughts on it, and thanks for your time.